I think our government is taking the situation seriously. There was a bit of a worry at the start. I felt we started a bit late, and because our numbers were not going up as fast like the other countries, it was sort of like laid back before they actually asked people that please just stay indoors. You know, it was sort of like a choice, like a preference.
The government is definitely taking the situation seriously. I have been following the briefings of the mayor of NYC, both governors of New York and New Jersey. I feel like even the mere fact that they're showing to these briefings shows that they do care and are taking the situation seriously.
Yep, the government is taking the situation very seriously. They always make announcements as to how many people are infected, like how everything is going, who should stay inside. They'll let us know when things get better. So I think it really is taking people seriously and really supporting all of us.
I also do feel like they have acted accordingly the best way they could. They've also given support to their people the best way they could. I can't imagine being in their shoes at the moment, and we can't really ask too much of them. I honestly feel like they are doing their best and taking the matter seriously.
Yes, they are at the moment. Like, it's kind of mandatory for one to have like a face mask.
The government is handling this the way they are, and I gotta commend them for at least making sure we went on lockdown, so I'm happy about that. I have heard that there is a lot of education on radio. There's also a lot of education on television, so that's something. So yeah, I guess they are taking it seriously. I'd just love them to take testing seriously.
I feel like they are. Honestly, I'm so proud of the Algerian government. They're really seeing to it that we are all safe, we are all healthy. They are really providing for us, and I'm so grateful for what they're doing.
I believe that the government's response is quite an astounding one. There's been over 200,000 tests carried out, and of the people infected, a 36% recovery rate, and that's quite good compared to how the rest of the world is coping.
Well, here, yeah, but in my opinion, they delayed it because we only started this state of alarm, which was on the 14th of March, like I said. We were like on 5,000 something cases, and I noticed that like in other places like in SA, they started like the lockdown very early, and in Lesotho we don't have any cases yet and they've locked down. I guess they took it very seriously but very late. That is why Spain is now like number 2 around the world with like COVID-19 cases.
For me, I think they have done really well. They have done really well given the situation that we are in. There was a time when we were really close in numbers, or even we had higher numbers than countries like Germany and Spain. And looking now at how much it has spread in those places, and looking at the numbers that we are in the top 5, but given the situation, I think the government has done really well in controlling the situation.
Very seriously.
They were very serious about that. Yeah, they were very serious about that, and
especially like when it comes to enforcing the rules.
Yeah, they were very serious because they didn't even let anybody try to break the rules.
Yeah.
You know, like you could see even from the social medias. Okay, I would say people were posting about how other people were getting arrested for just you know, breaking the rules
or going without a mask.
The mask, yeah, you know, something like that. And then they set up roadblocks all around each section of the city. Each section has a roadblock. So as you are going out, you register yourself out, and as you're coming back, you register yourself. Yeah.
The government is definitely taking this situation seriously. Going back to my discussion about prevention. I do think we could have acted a lot sooner. The government definitely could have acted a lot sooner. But now that they are acting, everyone is accounted for. They're thinking about the elderly. They're thinking about people whose mental health may be affected in this time. They allow us to go out for a run every day for at least an hour or a walk, just to get a bit of scenery. I think they really have put a lot of thought. There's so many schemes that are available for people that are going through different things. If maybe you've been let off of your job. So even people that are homeless, I know that there's so much that the government is doing to make sure that people are housed at the moment. Charities are stepping out. Companies are stepping up to make sure that they can give and donate things away if they're not in actively open at the moment. So there's so much that's going on that I think the government has actually started off, and now everyone's catching on and giving their best and making sure that as a society we keep each other safe.
But the people here are very dope. Like at 8 o'clock every day, like they stand out like the balconies there and everyone can hear it. Even in here I can hear it. Like they clap for like 5 minutes to salute like the health workers and all.
I think that people are aware of the dangers and threats that the virus poses on their well-being, not just their health, but their ability to put food on the table for their families. And I think it's important that they're supported equally on both fronts.
Yeah, almost everyone I know is taking the situation very seriously, because it's a deadly disease, so nobody wants to die.
I definitely believe people are taking it seriously, but there's a little bit of a change. So in the beginning of the lockdown, the first 3 weeks, I feel like everyone was really, you know, aware of what's happening and taking it seriously. But when we got through that first peak of the deaths and such, and the cases that were reported, I think people started relaxing a little bit. So when I did go for a shop recently, I realized there was a lot more people than there was before. So I think people are being a little bit more relaxed right now in terms of following the lockdown guidelines.
I honestly think so. I honestly think they are. I know that back at home it's a lockdown as well. I've been communicating with my parents, and as far as I know, everything is fine. They are taking the measures that they're supposed to be taking.
Yeah, I think people are taking it fairly seriously. I have a friend, my best friend lives just 2 streets from here. She hasn't come here, like she's not coming here. She's not taking chances. So yeah, people are taking it seriously, definitely.
Well, yes, I think that people are taking this seriously. A couple of weeks ago, I went to do my laundry at the laundromat, and everybody there was wearing a mask. It wasn't as crowded as it usually is. Even when I went to the grocery store, people were still wearing masks. So I do feel that people that started taking it seriously. But I mean, there's always those those people that are ignorant or stubborn. The mayor called them knuckleheads the other day. So you can't really say and generalize that everybody's taking it seriously, but for the most part, yeah, people are taking it seriously.
As I said, I talk to my mom a lot, and she's very careful, more careful than I am. She's slightly OCD. So I think they're taking care of themselves. She told me she's only been in town once. Even after the situation got a bit less tense, she stayed at home because she said she didn't want to put herself or my little brother in any risk. So they are really taking care of themselves.
My mom is actually a health worker back home, so she's taking it seriously on that end. But yeah, my parents as well. My dad is always telling me that he's at home, and yeah.
The people around here were taking it very seriously. Yeah, so I would say yes. My family, yes.
Back home in Africa.
In the beginning.
Yeah, in the beginning it wasn't there yet, since, as you know, China had it first. So by that time, yeah, our parents were worried about it and
about us.
Yeah, about us and about the situation. So, but now that at least they're calm, and now they've learned kind of from our experience how we handled it. Yeah, we handled it in like staying indoors, and I think that's what they're all doing out there.
I would say my friends cannot wait for this thing to end, cause the bevs and stuff. But my family is taking it very seriously. My cousins, the ones that I've actually been able to talk to during this time, are in lockdown. Grand's in lockdown. Baby cousins are in lockdown. I guess the family that's closest to me, yeah, they understand the severity of the situation, so that's the best part.
Because it's such a new, it's something new that we're all dealing with. We didn't know how it works, and we didn't know, even though that's a stupid thing to think, but I think some of my family members and friends did not take it seriously, and that might include me. A part of me didn't take it seriously because I know that the media sometimes creates facades. Like, the media sometimes will create more panic. It will act like there are either more cases than there are or less cases than they are. So I did kind of sometimes feel like, is this really the amount of people that are dying? Is this factual, or is it just the figure that, you know, is rounded up? So it was difficult, but only it took people close to us passing away and contracting the virus. For me personally, and I think some of my friends and family members, to say, all right, this is actually happening. And a lot of church members I know have passed now. So it's becoming more and more real. It took a while for us to really understand what is happening and that the situation is serious.
My family, I feel like the kids and I are, but I don't think my husband is. So he works, he's a doctor, so he works, you know, with people, but then when he's home, he still goes and visits his friends. So I don't know, maybe he knows something I don't know. Maybe he's immune, I don't know. But yeah, I feel he's not taking it seriously.
As for my family, it's really hard to tell. I would love to think that they are, but it's really hard to tell because I'm not there, you know. I can't tell. I can't see if they are doing the right things to be safe. Then again, they're back home in Lesotho, and it seems like Basotho are not taking this seriously. The other day I saw videos and pictures of the town being full on crowded, people stuck in traffic, and this is during the lockdown. So when I see videos and pictures like that, it worries me, you know, it worries me, and it doesn't necessarily assure me that my own immediate family is taking the issue seriously. So it's really hard to tell. I'd hope that they are taking it seriously because it is a serious matter.
As of today, the number to meet outside gatherings have been increased to 10 people. The past 5 weeks it's been 2 people, unless you're from the same family. If you're from the same family, the whole family counts as one person, then you could have one other person if you're out in the park and stuff.
I feel like it's the typical sanitize your hands, wash your hands, observe distance, 1 meter distance maybe. Yeah, it's the normal rules. I feel like the rules are the same everywhere. So we are just sanitizing our hands, using alcohol. We are using alcohol to rub our hands, of course, and observing distance in places where there are a lot of people.
You can go out if you are exercising. You can go on your bike. You can go running. You can, you know, but you can't be playing in parks. You just go out if you need to be going out. If you're going to the shops, and I heard that, yeah, I saw actually the barbers are still open and salons. I don't know about black salons, but I know white salons are open. A friend of mine went to the salon on Friday. So I guess, I don't know, I guess those are deemed essential services here. And then of course the grocery shops are open.
Staying home as much as you can, no social gatherings of any size. A lot of businesses have been closed, non-essential retail businesses, bars and restaurants. Some restaurants are still open, but only for pickups and deliveries. I know my liquor store in the neighborhood is still open. I'm mentioning this because South Africans were crying about not having alcohol. So we still have our liquor store open in the neighborhood.
It's mandatory to have a mask and social distancing. I think it's the same everywhere in the world. I think it's like 1 meter apart.
I'm not very sure what they are, but I've heard from like friends and stuff, and from the news, because you always get like different news. Like, you're allowed to go out for like exercise, you're not allowed to go out at all, And then when I get like, say I want to eat out, like get like KFC or something, like something, I order something on Uber Eats, like you get a message that tells you that you're not allowed to meet the person that delivers the food. So what you do is you order the food and then you pay online. Obviously they leave the food at the door and then you wait for a while before you can go out and get it, right? So that's what I've been hearing.
At the moment, the government has shut down pubs, so bars, schools, churches, anything that they deem that is non-essential gatherings, basically. You have to stay at least 6 feet away from other people. Parks, a lot of parks, if not all of them, ended up being closed because people were not respecting social distancing rule. Parks were still crowded. So they decided to close them. And like I said, you do get an hour to do any type of physical fitness, whether you want to take a walk or you want to run, whatever it may be outdoors. Gyms and such are obviously closed, so there's that. So you only go outside if you necessarily need to go outside, and it's for food or for health reasons, if you need a prescription or something.
And then other people say that you can go out to walk. But one time I went out, I was looking for like a place where I can go with like withdraw money so I can go buy food, right? And then I met some cops and then they asked me where I live. But they were very nice. They didn't do anything to scare me. And then they asked me where I live and I told them around the corner. Like, yeah, no, go get your things and then go back in the house because you're not allowed to walk. So it's a bit confusing what the exact rules are. But I'm gonna go with the police because Blackie.
Going outside once a week to go get food.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. And then only one person could go out and get food. If you got the two of you, one family had only one person to go out.
Yeah.
And after that, no going out at night.
Always wear a mask.
Yeah. And after 10, people weren't allowed to be moving around. But even though some were moving around, but the rules were posted.
And what else? That health code, register your health status.
Yeah, like we said.
Phone.
Yeah, like we said, there were roadblocks that could check your health status through the registration that you made on your phone.
Yeah.
And as you're getting into the supermarket before you get food, as well, we had people that were checking
our temperatures.
Yeah, our temperatures and your health code again. So
no sale of alcohol and cigarettes, a very strict curfew. No one is allowed to be outside their homes between the hours of 8 p.m. and 5 a.m. Hardware sales are not permitted. Fast food will be allowed but by delivery only. Exercise, you can take a walk, go for a run or cycle between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. daily within a 5-kilometer radius of your home.
You also have to keep within 2 meters from people. If you're going to the store, you got to keep within 2 meters from them, 2 meters away. And just the basic, make sure that you keep your hands washed, that you're using hand sanitizer, and just make sure that you're keeping yourself safe. Pretty much. It's also now a requirement for everyone to wear a mask. It's hard to get the masks at the moment. I ordered mine on Amazon, I don't know how many weeks ago, and I'm only getting them in June. So it's just a matter of just preparing for when the city reopens for business.
So the rules for us are, we gotta social distance, only essential workers, the ones that are basically supposed to be out and about. All companies and businesses that are currently operating should be observing every regulation. That's masks when necessary, and of course sanitizing before and after receiving services.
In France, first of all, you cannot go out without any valid reason. So if you're not doing work that is essential services, or for me personally, I go out if I'm going to get my supplies, and you only have to be within 1 kilometer from where you stay, and you can only be outside for 1 hour. So you have to write a pass. There's an app that has been designed for you to fill out your reason. So when you meet the police outside, then you show them the pass that you have the reason, how long you've been out, where you stay, and something like that.
To stand at least 6 feet away from each other, and Another rule is in the elevator, it should only be 2 people per ride. So if you find someone in the elevator, let's say you find 2 people in the elevator, just let it pass and you'll catch the next one, just so we don't be crowded in one space.
So we gotta stay home, but I think I keep going back to the fact that we're not really staying home. Like, people in my country are not staying home. Today being the official day since we were told that non-essential services are open, I've been seeing ridiculous videos of people hitting up bottle stores, hitting up all sorts of places, just living, traffic, jam. It's crazy. So in the first few weeks, things were really hectic because the defense force was on the ground making sure that people were adhering to the rules. Was it working? Kinda. Did I like what they were doing? Not really. I saw some videos that really scared me, but I actually don't even want to get into that because I really don't.
If you break your quarantine without any valid reason, then you have to pay, I think, 125 euros, and that's a lot of money. And I don't know if people have been arrested here, but I know that you get a fine that you have to pay.
Honestly, people have been very serious in practicing the social distancing. So far, I've never seen careless people. Everyone is scared for their health, so everyone is very careful to be safe, because somehow you always suspect someone is sick, so you want to stay away from them to protect yourself.
You get arrested?
Yeah, there are people who are getting arrested. A lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so... But none of the foreigners got arrested though.
That
mostly,
we know
yeah, mostly those.
Police have the right to disperse the gathering. So if you're at your family or friend's house and you've got about 10 people in there that shouldn't be in there, police are well equipped and allowed to go in and basically just disperse that gathering. I know that there are fines that are being given now.
There are fines that are getting given. I know in South Australia and east of Australia, they usually report on how many fines have been given, because there was quite a lot of people who didn't take this thing seriously. There were people who were still at the beach, people who were still in the park, you know. So, but I think people have been taking it seriously now over there. But yeah, there's a fine. Can't remember for how much.
There is a $1,000 fine in NYC. There are fines as well in New Jersey. I just don't remember of how much. I also know that the police was using drones to enforce social distancing. So yeah, there are measures that are taken in order to enforce the lockdown and social distancing.
You can get arrested or fined. That's what I know.
But yeah, you get like 2,400 euros, which is a lot. Or you get like a prison sentence for breaking the rules. So that is why I'm constantly in the house, and I don't want to break any rules because I don't have that much money to spend, or any money for that matter. So it's chill.
If I'm not mistaken, if you're in Gauteng and you are not compliant with the lockdown rules and regulations, you will be liable for paying a fine of 5,000 rand.
Virgin Atlantic, Virgin Australia, you know, it just goes around locally. It was just actually going to recession or something, and I think the government wanted to put in some money there and help. But yeah, the social grants have been increased for people who do not work and single parents.
Yes, the government is providing some type of relief. The IRS has given 1,200 to taxpayers. There are unemployment benefits in America, not just now during the pandemic. It's something that they always had. So if you've lost your job due to COVID-19, you can claim your benefits. You can file and claim your benefits. The last time I checked, 6.6 million people applied for unemployment. And you can imagine with that big number, it has been frustrating for a lot of people just to get through the application process. And I know that some people haven't even received their unemployment benefits yet.
I believe that the South African government is paying a 350 COVID-19 distress grant to subsidize individuals that need relief during the lockdown.
They also made it clear that people will not be evicted due to not paying their rent. I know they are giving some form of support as well for business owners, for house owners. Recently, the governor of New Jersey said that people can use their security deposit to pay for rent or part of it.
So the government will be providing relief towards small businesses, if I'm not mistaken, that have been impacted by the lockdown.
It's a privilege for us to have these type of reliefs, but then again, I'm pretty sure that they don't apply for everyone. You have to be eligible. And I just wish that Lesotho and other countries had these kind of resources.
I don't know about the nation because I don't really pay too much attention with the news around here because it's mostly in Turkish and I can't understand most Turkish. But as far as students are concerned, there have been some people, or rather some students, that have been getting food packages from the university. So that's what I know.
I saw on social media somebody in Wuhan, a Chinese citizen, saying that they were provided with vegetables, fresh fruits, and fish food. So yeah, the government did.
For us here at our residence, they've provided us with sanitizers, each student sanitizers, and one time they came to disinfect our rooms. So honestly, I feel like they're doing a really good job.
It's providing relief in so many different ways. There's so many grants and schemes that are available, even in minuscule stuff in terms of the homeless. They definitely make sure the people that are not housed at the moment are currently housed. There's the furlough scheme, so if you've been kind of let go of your job, they provide wages for you in the meanwhile while you're waiting to get back reinstated into your job.
Where I stay, people who have not been here have been given a pass not to pay rent. Unfortunately, I've been here, so I have to pay rent. And also, they are giving out food supplies. Where I stay, they wrote down an announcement on a notice board that people who cannot really afford to have food right now can get some supplies from local suppliers, I think, in connection to the government.
So if you're creative, you're self-employed, there's grants for those people. There's also grants for small-owned businesses. There's also ways that they're going to work out tax and how that could work out for certain people. So there's so many different things that they're doing, and grants and loans that are available to make sure that people are still able to pay their bills in this time, which I think is so beautiful.
Also with the Lesotho government, I know there are plans to help other students that are out of the country. So I think really I marvel at what Lesotho has done, how seriously the situation has been taken even before we got any cases, and even by trying to help in any situation, especially financially. I mean, it's really remarkable.
Yes, Canadian government has really been doing very good. I think the government gave out $2,000 a month to everyone. So everyone who lost their job or who have been laid off, the government provide $2,000 every month. So it's an employment insurance. It's really good and helping a lot of people. I don't know how it might impact us in the future, but right now people need that because we're all stuck in the house, but life still needs to go on.
I don't think it's making things worse for me, but I also don't think it's a distraction.
It's actually a very good distraction. I spend the whole day on social media. I'm either on Instagram or I'm watching YouTube videos or Twitter. Twitter is amazing.
I personally decided to get off my Instagram, in particular because that's the one that I use the most. Mainly because I felt like I needed to take care of more important things, and my Instagram was becoming more of a distraction. It wasn't necessarily making the situation worse for me in terms of being anxious and paranoid and, you know, seeing the news and all of that.
Yeah, social media has been a great distraction as one of the tools that you can use to stay connected with the rest of the world. It's been interesting to see how everybody else is coping and what they're up to, and also get ideas of what you can do to pass time as you stay at home in your own self-isolation.
And I also don't like being on social media when I'm not feeling my best. Another thing, I needed to have time with God and be present in the moment, to listen to Him, to speak to Him, and just try to seek help where I could get it in terms of my situation at the time. I'm still off. It's been almost 2 months now, and I think I am better off social media than I am on it. And I am doing so much more because I am not paying attention to scrolling down and looking at people's pictures and liking their pictures, or editing my own pictures and posting them and putting some caption there. Like, those things right now are not important for me. Like, no, not now. At least not now.
I think it's a good distraction, definitely, because then you know, you are keeping in touch with people virtually. You know, at least it's the one thing that has not changed. So it's the one thing that makes things feel, there's a safety about it. You know, things still feel familiar and the same. So I think it's been a good distraction.
Honestly, I feel like social media is neither distracting nor making it worse for me in any way. Honestly, I feel like social media is still the same for me, because I know what to consume and what not to consume from social media. I'm not just taking in everything that everybody's posting. I know the truth. I read current affairs, I watch news, and I know what's going on. So social media is not in any way impacting me in a negative way. I'm still the same. It's still the same for me.
Yeah, for me, social media has actually been quite helpful in this time. It has been a tool that I use to reconnect with people. A lot of times I wouldn't have that much time for people. Like, life is so fast. Like, there's so much to do. It's fast paced, it's ongoing. But I feel like now I have time for people. I have time to reconnect, to call my family, to be on a call with 10, and technology is so beautiful right now because we can be on a call with 10 people at one time, and it's just, for me, it's a beautiful time. I'm enjoying that, and I'm enjoying being a part of people's lives and seeing what you can create and who you can be when you're not forced to be in a 9-to-5, or you're not forced to be, you know, doing your normal day-to-day life. So I think it's giving people an opportunity to be creative. It's giving people an opportunity to think and express their thoughts.
It's good and bad. You know, sometimes you need a break from a lot of things and just concentrate on yourself and what you believe in, because there's so many things said on social media, so many stories, lies, confusions. Sometimes you just need to be in your own zone, meditate, and just, you know, be back to yourself and remind yourself who you are and who God is, because in all this pandemic, I think God is just trying to reveal His story. At the end of the day, we will all notice that God is huge. We all need God in the world, and He will reveal His glory at the end of the day.
For me, social media has been a good distraction and a bad distraction. I think just having too much time on my hands has been wrong. I'm seeing things I don't really want to see and becoming part of conversations that I really should stay out of, but yeah, it's whatever.
So I think it's good in a way that it helps me keep in touch with people from home. I'm able to check on my friends on how they're doing, my distant family, so it's good in that way again. So it's good and bad.
But on the bright side, it's been awesome because I've had time to create content, to really think of what I want to do with my social media channel. So it's been dope, and I'm working on something that's gonna blow your mind once everything is settled down.